News break! What in the world, IJ?
So this is me and Steam Cafe, and if you've spent any time with me over a long time, I love studies. So my background is in deep research. So when we
by research you don't mean Google.
No.
Okay, just checking.
So I just love research.
I Googled it.
Because the science of research, it is literally about smoke and mirrors. It's literally when people say this study is this, I go, yeah, there is a story. It's like, hey, listen, 2 glasses of milk a day. Who did the research? Dairy farmers of America, right? Let's be real. But this what I found. I found this such telling because the correlations are very, very huge. Science says by drinking your coffee this way means you're more likely to be a psychopath. And how do you think coffee is served? You're more likely to be a psychopath. Jamie, Amy, do you know a way? How you take your coffee?
Repeat the question. I think
Science says drinking. No, there's no trick. This is
Science says this is a study, an actual scientific
not
study.
Simon says, hands on head.
I don't know what you're saying.
Science says.
Science says drinking your coffee this way means you're more likely to be a psychopath.
Oh.
So how are people taking their coffee?
Well, I sip
With
my
cardamom.
coffee through a hollowed out bone of one of my victims. No psychopath tendencies here.
When you mean your victims, you mean every piece of candy around the office.
Candy!
This is not good for me.
I usually have my coffee with some organic full cream milk, a little bit of honey, half a teaspoon of coconut oil.
No, not how you take it.
How do psychopaths take it?
Yes.
Oh, how
Black?
That's exactly correct.
Oh, just straight black?
Really?
Yes. So no.
What, is there a reason why?
Okay.
Once you go black,
this is fantastic, right?
Well, no, I'm actually quite fascinated with this because what a lot of people don't know about, like, people think of psychopaths and they think that it's only like serial killers.
No.
Which serial killers are psychopaths, that's a given. But not all psychopaths are serial killers. So a lot of psychopaths are literally in positions of power, or they're CEOs of companies. And there's a really good book called Snakes in Suits, all about psychopaths, like in the workplace.
They're able to do hard decision making.
They are able to make hard
because
decisions.
they don't care of the consequences of the decision. They just black or white, boom, this. Black or white, coffee black.
Well, no, that's not that. Okay, so that's a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
One way of looking at it as well, it's not that they don't care about the results of decisions because they're looking for a certain kind of outcome. So they want a decision. It is that they're making a decision based on reality, not emotion.
Right.
I think that's just so sad.
Well, there you go.
He's clearly not a
The
psychopath.
present research has demonstrated that the bitter taste preferences are associated with 549 more pronounced malevolent personality traits.
Malevolent.
Malevolent. That's
Malevolent,
the witch from the...
Who's also a
Especially
psychopath.
robustly with everyday sadism. The results confirmed with the hypothesis that bitter taste preferences are positively associated with malevolent personality traits with the most robust relationship to everyday sadism and psychopathy. The data therefore provides novel insight into the relationship between personality and the ubiquitous behaviors of eating and drinking by consistently demonstrating a robust relationship between the increased enjoyment of bitter foods and heightened sadistic proclivities. So that is exactly.
So
So what you're saying is the bitter foods are appealing to the psychopaths. So Dracula was a psychopath because he bit her and she was food. Bit her food. Bitter food. Bitter.
Okay, so
so anyway, he's clearly not, because I gotta tell you how much cream and sugar this guy puts in his coffee.
Right.
Okay,
You can tell by my
does
demure
not
physique. I'm
drink it
fading
black.
away.
But if your partner is drinking black
Or
coffee,
you are.
well,
Whoa, harsh reality check.
ooh,
no,
that's very fascinating.
They're not
I'm
saying,
so fascinated.
They're not saying. They're saying there's just there's just a likelihood.
A likelihood.
That's all. So this
But
is
it's
the difference.
fascinating.
Well, it's absolutely fascinating. So when you look at it, when you look at the data, and obviously we're finding out that people who have quote unquote emotional, people who have psychological, people that have quote unquote certain ways of understanding environment. That means through the five senses, right? So let's name the five senses.
What?
Let's name the five senses that we know.
Sight, sound,
Yep.
Touch,
Right.
smell,
Okay.
taste.
feel.
Done. Okay. So what we're finding out is that these people, depending on how they sense the world, we can actually tell a lot about their personality traits or likelihoods of personality traits.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when you find people out, so when you find a person like who really likes soft pillows, right? We know now, right? We know now that there is probably a certain kind of trait that people like them have when it comes to making decisions or outcomes.
Oh.
So even people like who like certain kinds of textures, people like certain kinds of gentlemen or certain
Or
kinds
colors.
of women. Exactly. Isn't that kind of crazy? So it really reflects on really the way they're wired.
And even though you have those five senses, the conscious mind is only aware of 15 to 20% of the stimuli that's coming to you. There's like 42,000 bits of information per second that the subconscious, the brain, is observing and is being aware of. But conscious mind, for you to be able to function, can't take in all that information at one moment and be aware of it. It's too much. So it filters out only the information that's relevant to you, and it's relevant to you based on your belief structures. So depending on the belief that you have in certain aspects, you will disregard information that someone else is having an emotional reaction to. And you're like, oh, I didn't even see it. I didn't feel it, didn't touch it, didn't hear it, didn't taste it, because it's not relevant to you.
Right. So so this is a fantastic example of the wallflower, right? So this is a great example where all of us, say there's 20 of us and we're all friends and we all know each other, and then there's another 20 people that we don't know, but they're friends of friends, okay? So now there's 40 people, right? If I'm attracted to a certain personality type, if I'm attracted to certain women, I would have noticed that redhead, 5'11", and whatever, but I may have never even noticed the brunette from Central America. And it's because...
She sounds hot.
Right? She is lovely.
Great personality.
¿Cómo estás?
I don't speak German.
Yeah. So,
Don't
so
date a
when,
style,
when they
Daniel.
say that, right? are you leaving for the library?
No, I said donde está el baño.
Oh yeah, the big library.
That's
I
the
got it.
only one
The-
you need to know.
the big library.
That's the one question you need to know in
So
any
Casa
other
White.
language.
Blanco.
Blanco. So yeah, so it's really about it's really about like when you're at like a buffet, you only really see the things that you want to see, and you want to taste the only things you want to taste. So it's exactly.
So you went from a room full of women to buffet. I heard you say.
I love it. I'm just saying, like, you really, it's
The dating buffet.
Yeah, I
Welcome
mean,
to Vegas.
the content is really only relevant to you and your.
Yes.
So we can literally, it's like, oh, I was at that party as well.
I didn't see him.
And I didn't even see that, or I didn't even hear that. Right?
Just like when you, especially you, because literally, not too many people know. So Amy is a phenomenal networker. I had the opportunity to be out with her for a few days. It was
Is that
fantastic.
where you were?
Yeah, I was with IJ.
Let's be real. Come on.
Left him at home.
Someone's got to do the dishes.
I'm quite charming. Anywho, big shout out to @Bird Inc. @Steemit Inc. We'll see you guys in Austin. Pretty excited.
Oh yeah, we are excited. Yes, because we're going to be. Jamie's going to be emceeing the Steam
hi
Creators
there.
Conference in Austin, August 4th through the
August 10th to the 13th.
10th through the 13th.
She's
Close
pretty
enough.
much
I will
running
be-
the operations manager, the producer of the whole thing,
And I will be speaking.
right?
Yep.
And come to find out that Steemit Inc. will be participating.
Yes, and
Nice.
Bird Inc. Yeah, amazing
Dave,
to meet you,
what up,
Dave.
Dave, Bird.
We had a great time with you. Great meeting you.
Nice guy.
Yeah. Anyway, what
Nice
were you
guy.
going to say about the networking? You were saying something about.
No, so what I'm saying is that's the reason why really when you go out, especially when it comes to networking, right? And this is not just for networking, when it comes to sales, when it comes to communications, you need different personality types to
yeah.
go out with you. And even though we are both outgoing, all three of us are very outgoing, we are still different persons and different personality traits.
Yeah.
I enjoy black coffee. So does Carly.
Whoa.
You do?
Not surprised.
What?
No shock here.
No,
No shock.
No, it's not. It's our study. I took it. I was diagnosed psychotic and a psychopath when I was
You
Are you
were
really-
a
are you
little
really a psychopath?
defensive
Yeah.
when I mentioned the psychopaths just don't care about people.
No. So that's
They just don't care. A little defensive, that's all I'm saying. Signs, the signs are there. Everyone, the signs are there.
yeah. So that is completely inaccurate. But that's his belief system, which is absolutely wrong. So it would not surprise me if he's empathetic to the causes of the flat Earth as well. I'm just saying.
Hey!
He's like,
It's the big
But-
ice wall that's keeping us all safe.
right. But what I'm saying is when you go networking, we have different personality types. We will be attracted where maybe I don't relate to that person. I don't even notice that person. And Amy could have a blossoming relationship, but still spread the message of what we're trying to do. So that's the reason why when you go into business, when you go networking, it is so very important to have diversity of not just belief systems, but a diversity of personality types, and it really demonstrated over
Talking
World
about brain
CryptoCon.
studies, I was when I was at college, when I was in university,
Right?
I was in a study because they were looking for people that were either right brain dominant or left brain dominant,
Okay.
and I was 50-50.
Right.
And there's a very, very, very small percentage. Other than they're like, I'm like, but you're going to pay me to do this study. I'm interested. Like, you don't fit the criteria because you're part of this 3% that's exactly 50-50.
Okay, let me share this. Let me share
know
this
what that means.
amazing
can
stat.
it?
And you guys look it up. Look it up in the stats.
It
Right?
started with psychopaths and black.
Yeah. No. This
Reminding
is
you.
And
pretty
chocolate.
awesome. This is pretty awesome. So we're going to talk about the geography of Australia and the influences of Australia.
Oh.
In the next episode.
Yeah, so we can do the next episode. Thank you so much. It's absolutely. Let's wrap this up.
Okay, so
take us out.
No. 5 words. Recap your story.
God, what was my story? It was so long ago.
I
It
know.
was the baggage handler that fell asleep in the cargo hold. You don't even remember what your story
Yeah.
was. You had to
So
look
this
it
is
up.
the-
The
Yeah.
Chinaman eating China.
He,
I don't know. Chinese man. I don't know.
a
I don't
Chinese
think.
person. Or
I don't
Chinese
think that's
national.
politically correct anymore. I grew up with that saying, and I actually don't think that's. Is it politically or politely?
I don't know.
It is not.
Everything is
So,
offensive these days.
Everything is. People get offended as if there's an award.
man
I'm
from
offended
China-
by that. It's like, well, there's no
Don't-
award. Just move on.
Don't try to distract people from
I-
your racism.
I think that probably was, and I'm usually not that kind of person. Well, I'm not that kind of person. I really don't care. I love everyone for the most part. I'm not a psychopath who drinks black coffee. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So yeah, a man from China, a Chinese person,
Longest 5
swallowed a spoon, and a year later decided to remove it. There you go.
Okay, and your story?
Is that? I enjoy black coffee.
Oh, I'm scared.